Nothing.
Compliment?
No, we were just kind of hanging out. Why? What's up?
Well, my headset was floating, and that concerned me.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's
you
also
didn't
this
miss
blood
much.
smear on my wall, but I can't quite make out what it says. It looks like it says Forge was here.
Let's start the recording. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Throughout the highlands of Skaldra, the eastern sky has been ablaze. At night, the red glow is visible for miles upon end, and the black billowing smoke has begun blowing its way through all of the plains, butting up against the mountains to the northeast. With this, heralds and messengers have run to all of the clans around, saying that a great fire is making its way across the land, and requesting as much aid as possible from friend and foe alike. They are willing to pay. Clan Dalton is one of the most powerful and richest clans in the area, and with their central position, they have taken up the duty of making sure that everyone finds a safe space during the fires. You all have made your way through the highlands, over the fields and mountains to make your way to Clan Dalton and Castle Mikulin. There you find a courtyard filled with adventurers, woodsmen, carpenters, uh, practitioners of different trades. You see an assortment of different people wearing heavy armors to simple leather jerkins or aprons. They've more or less begun to separate the crowd into groups, anywhere from threes to fives, making sure that everyone is able to meet one another. Each of you is approached by a gentleman who goes by the name Skern. Pockets. You are the first approached.
Oh boy.
Skern is a middle-aged gentleman, balding, and has just gone to shaving off what little hair he had left to go fully bald. Tattooed scalp, a scar across one eye, and he's not wearing any armor, but he's definitely dressed as someone who's ready for pretty much most, if any, physical exertion. Where do you come from?
Some are far off, but I'm hoping that I can try and help as best that I can.
Do you have a party that you came in with?
Not particularly.
All right. Well, I'll get you paired up with a few others.
Emma, I'm not gonna lie. I was really hoping you'd just say space.
Really? Okay. Well, maybe in part two.
Ooh, ooh.
Skern looks over the crowd for a few seconds before his eyes squint. They screw tight for a second before he shouts out, "You, the orange one with the fur, come on over here." Tobias, you are being hailed.
The whole club is looking at her.
Boots with the fur.
Pockets pulls an apple out of his coat.
Thank you.
Hi there.
All right.
the hell
You,
that
do you have a name?
Tobias.
Oh
All right.
no.
Did you come with the group, Tobias?
No, Tobias come by himself.
All right. You're paired up with... I'm sorry, I didn't catch your name.
Call me Pockets.
You and Pockets are together. And the two of you should have a third person. Skern goes around for a second, trying to catch the eye of the different individuals. A human and a dwarf walk by, and he tries to catch them before they just kind of avert their eyes and move off. Eventually, he finds what appears to be a heavily armored individual near the back. You, sir, do you have a group already?
What do you want?
What the fuck? Oh shit.
I'm wanting to know if you have a group.
No.
All right, get on over here. This is Pockets, Tobias, and you are a stranger.
Yes.
All right, stranger. Works for me. The three of you need to watch each other's backs. We've been having some problems out with the woods with all the fires. And, well, it's best to not go out alone. Skern begins to walk off. Are you doing anything?
Finding the actual voice that I had in my head that's not redneck.
I'm looming incredibly heavily over the Khajiit. It's not purposeful, but my god, such loom has never ever been seen before.
Pocket and I are sort of just standing in like a reluctantly accepted, disbelief of just like, right, of course, we're the fucking dregs of the barrel. This is so typical and perfect. Great. Awesome.
Forge, what do you look like again?
Yeah, what do
Armor.
we all look like?
Armor, okay.
I'm wearing armor. You can see nothing.
Do you have
I
a
look like
better
armor.
description of the armor?
Nope, he is straight up Shovel Knight now.
What is Shovel Knight?
A delightful lad.
You know plate armor? You know plate armor?
Yeah.
Yes.
Hey, you know plate armor? It looks like that.
Are you that? Ah,
Looks like plate armor.
okay.
Armor with plates.
Are
Some of the
you
plates
a
have
big
armor.
plate armor? Are you a wide armor? How beefy is this plate armor?
Moderately mid to moderately beefy.
Ah. A real hunk of armor, I understand.
Your name
And by
Pocket?
moderately, I mean the most beefy.
Your name Pocket.
My
Yes.
name Pocket.
I don't do well with one-shot voices. I don't. I need time to establish.
Roll your R's more. It establishes a purr in your voice.
She does wears if you have coin.
Did you say your name was Pocket?
Yes. And you're cold Tobias.
It is funny name. How did you get? Fuck! Now it's Russian.
Well, this
Oh.
one's name is Tobias.
No. I'd rather
Pleasure
take
to
Russian.
meet you.
Please no.
I made some moonshine out in the back if you want some. I mean,
I was
Tobias made
specifically
some
trying to
moonshine out in the
avoid
back
it,
if
and
you
now my
want
mind
some.
focused on
God
it.
damn it.
It's some good moonshine. Mixing some milk with it. It's fantastic. It's Tobias's best moonshine. That's what I wrote on
Stop
the.
it.
That's what Tobias wrote on the bottle.
Oh my god.
And me. Just. He would like to know why you're named Pocket.
He says psychically.
She has the script. She can read the margins.
No, she can't. I covered the margins. I dipped the margins in whiteout. Jacob, it's gonna be a long night.
Oh, I noticed.
Oh my god. Oh, it started off as a sort of nickname and it just stuck.
Tobias get named same way.
I see. And stranger, was it?
Who is Tobias?
Tobias just raises his hands. Tobias is Tobias.
Then why do you not say I? You are Tobias.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
It's gonna be a long
Oh,
fucking day.
you are yes.
No.
Tobias gives up.
You are Tobias. You give up.
Pockets at this point is kind of looking around. Is there any sort of like supervisor or a person in charge that they can get any sort of like information about where they're
phone.
supposed to be stationed?
The anchor is confused.
Make me
The
either
boulder!
the boulder. Give me a perception or insight check.
It's not just a rock.
Even with the
it's a
passive that we all
boulder.
have?
Oh yeah, frick! I forgot about your passives. Good lord.
It's a 21.
Gods. So looking around, you see Skern has walked away and is filing some paperwork at one of the desks that is close to a lean-to stall by the exterior wall. There are a couple other people who are dressed similarly to him. They appear to be the palace guards, or well, the castle guards, or just regular town militia. Looking around, there are a couple of them all around. They're all appearing to be bunching people into groups, some larger. It appears that some of the groups are old hats at this, even though it's only been happening for a couple weeks. They've already bonded together and have larger groups. But there is a raised section near the castle gate, and behind the gate is a massive four-towered castle. On that platform, however, right in front of the gate, you see a couple of people who look like officials, including one individual who appears to be feminine in form, though it's a little difficult to tell through all the robes. A deep hood that has long antlers that come out the back, and a tall staff. She very, very easily distinguishes herself from the rest, being dressed in much finer garments, and appears to be talking down to other people up there who are also finely dressed.
Mm-hmm.
Does that answer your question?
It does, and obviously, my real above game brain is basically saying that she is probably some sort of druid in charge with more information. So I think Pockets is going to go over there towards that group.
All right. You're gonna have to push your way through the crowd a little, but you can totally make your way that way.
Yes, I can.
You make your way a bit closer and find that there is a rope guard a rope pulled through some railings that's separating the stage from the general crowd. But you're close enough to easily talk up to the stage.
Okay. Excuse me. I was wondering if there was any sort of direction as far as like these party stations, what section of the area in which to go.
Go ahead and roll me a persuasion check.
Okay. 16.
Not too bad. One of the town militia begins moving in your direction. The words on his lips are of the sort that are saying, "Oh no, please just get back into your groups and we'll all get all the information." When a voice from the stage comes out, "Oh no, it's all right. I can speak to a few people. The lady who was described earlier in the robes and the deep hood walks over to the edge of the platform and crouches down. What can I be doing for you? Beneath the hood, the small amount of light that you can see, you catch just the edge of a very soft chin, light skin, and maybe like a lock of bright red hair. But the rest of it's cast in shadow with the early morning sun just now beginning to rise.
Dan, you have a lot of things. Placement.
You may have to say that
As
again.
far
You broke up.
I understand that you have a lot of organization efforts with this whole rescue endeavor, but I was wondering what exactly how it was all sectioned for each group would be in.
Well, that all depends on relative skill. What do you fancy your skills to be in, sir?
Sure, let's go with that. Not to lie, firework is not exactly my. I do know a bit. I do tend to think of myself as a sort of outdoorsman, though, but fairly enough.
Are you better at penning animals or hunting them?
Probably hunting.
Which group did you end up with? She kind of scans the crowd.
Tobias.
That anime sort of like glue crosses over. He kind of gets that, even though you can't see his face. He sort of and it's just like, it seems with other novice dregs, and he points them out.
I will say Tobias is like 15 feet behind you, just waiting patiently for you.
With the big old eyes.
Oh, yes.
And then
yes.
the massive individual in full plate armor behind him.
Just staring straight down at the top of his head, like gloomingly.
No, he's staring at pockets now.
Huh. Well, I think I can find a place for you. Ron! And she looks over at the militiaman who had been walking away after trying to berate you for addressing the higher-ups. He kind of stops, the shoulders raised in that, oh no, I've done something, before he turns around. Ah, yes, something I can help you with. Make sure that these all have all the equipment they need. They're going to be the front line. Going to keep everyone safe. Are you sure about that, lady? Oh, yes, quite sure. Quite sure. Are you in need of anything, Mr. And she kind of fishes for a name.
Pocket.
Mr. Pockets. Do you need anything in case you had to get in a scuffle?
He sort of pats down all of his weird fucking pockets on his coat. I think I have everything. And he looks at them. Do we need anything else, boys?
We desire a notebook.
Ron, make sure that they get a notebook. Yes, milady. Whatever you say. Anything else?
Tobias, any requests?
Tobias is good with plants. If you have medicine kits.
I feel like we can probably get you something. Ron?
Tobias is good
yes,
with plants
milady,
if
yes,
you are
milady.
good with Tobias.
Stop. Shut up.
Well, if you need anything else, make sure to go to Bran for it then. Did you have any other questions? I'm about to make the announcements.
At this point, no. Thank you very much.
All right. She stands back up, gives you a brief nod with just the hood tilting for a second to signify it before she walks back onto the platform further in. Right, so notebook, mess. That was it, right?
I think so.
All right, I'll be
Anchor
right back.
wishes for charcoal.
Right, yeah, I can get you charcoal. I'll be right back. Don't move, or else I won't be able to find you. Ron turns around and walks away. It's about this time that the lady steps up onto a taller, raised platform on top of the platform and begins to address the crowd. All right. So we're about to commence today's work. Those of you who have been here already know the drill, but those of you who are new, we've been having reports of things in the woods, in the fires. We lost a couple men already. A few of you have already been designated as front lines. Your whole job is to, if you see something, kill it. Understood? There's a general ascension from the crowd. For the rest of you, you're digging trenches, felling trees, and generally trying to make sure the fire can't get too far. All right, quartermasters. Lead them out. The whole cacophony around you begins to move in a direction as you hear shouts and hollers from the different militia men who are beginning to move the crowd. It's about this time that Braun pants up to you guys, having run full sprint. All right, I got a pen, a charcoal pencil, and a notebook, and I got you a medic kit. All right, you guys are front lines. Is there anything else you needed?
The anchor and his echoes, thank you. We will now depart.
Right is right. All right. And so you guys depart?
I guess so.
All right. Moving out from the castle, you move through the town. The town itself is quite large. The thatched roofs of the buildings are currently being treated by some of the denizens of the city to try to keep them as put out as possible. As you guys move through the city, you actually make it to the edge of the city where you can see a few of the buildings have themselves caught fire just from debris that is blown from the woods. And past that, the wall and the hill that you are all on gives way, and you can see the plains beyond. A few rolling hills that are peppered with different groups of men moving towards the forest, a thin, dark line of trees before past them a looming glow of fire, the black columns of smoke blowing out. You also see that off to the right is what appears to be a bog. Is anyone from this part of Skaldra?
Oh my god, I've got voice mod. Hold on, I'll be right back.
Oh god. I don't know, DM. Is anyone from this part of Skaldra?
Tobias lives.
This is a one shot. You could be.
I don't know Skaldra enough to make a proper decision.
You are in the center of Skaldra. You are honestly, there's not much to know. It's a lot of warring clans and factions. Dalton is one of the largest and most aggressive. There are clans pretty much everywhere and anywhere. The largest of which being Clan Dalton, already mentioned. Pulling up those notes. Clan Lubin, which is on the northeastern side, closer to the mountains. Clan Islam, which is primarily made of dwarves and in the southern mountains, near where the snow falls all year round. and then Clan Olik, which pretty much controls the whole eastern side of Skaldra and all of the islands that way. They're mainly a pirate organization.
Probably not then.
Okay.
Tobias is relatively from the region.
Okay.
Fairly
Hello.
fairly
Oh,
close
hello.
to Clan Dalton. I actually have in his notes. Where did I put it? Tobias travel far, make many friends. Very good friend with Clandleton. Because you can't say it right.
Clandleton, okay. Then, since you've probably been in this area before, you would recognize that the mire off to your right is the Cadman Barrows, flooded years and years ago and has become a bog since. It's generally considered cursed.
Okay.
But you guys continue pushing forward. The men around you, a good amount of which have already taken up to singing working and marching songs on their way to the forest. Are you doing anything on your approach?
Did we get the equipment that we asked for yet?
You did. You have a
Okay.
med kit.
Okay. Nope. Actually, Tobias is linked elbows with pockets. Yeah, just walking side by side.
Every time you try, he will take his arm out of your arm.
Okay. He just
That's really
smiles.
funny. Is anyone else doing anything upon approach? Forge, you haven't said anything.
I think he's getting voice mod ready.
I assumed as much.
Yeah.
Who's a diabolically friendly chap?
Tobias.
Oh, gotcha. Thank you for posting the map of Skaldra in that chat.
We're in the center region there, right?
More or less. Clan
Okay.
Dalton, the castle that you guys are in, you see that that lake in the center.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Clan Dalton is on the near the peak of it, where the forest meet the forest edges. The top.
Okay.
Gotcha.
It's where the castle is that you guys are at. I don't want to move too far without Forge.
Yes.
Well, I guess we'll keep going then.
I guess.
Working songs and marching songs are sung for about the 20 minutes that it takes to walk to the edge of the forest. When you guys make it there, you can see that this has been in operation for many days. You can see barrels and boxes filled with supplies and tools, wagons and carts that have been pulled around to the edge of the forest that have an assortment of items to help you guys out, including shovels, pickaxes, the occasional
I think I got
axe
it.
and sword. Okay, you good?
Think so.
All right. You want to test it, or shall I keep going?
Does this work?
Sure.
Well, we hear something.
Glad to hear it.
Yep,
Oh my
that
God.
works. All right. The only problem in this area is that the smoke is incredibly thick. You guys have low visibility. It's almost as if a heavy fog is blown in, but you can feel it in the back of your throat, and you always feel like you have a need to cough, even though any attempt that has been made has simply been futile. You hear foremen and quartermasters shouting directions to their different groups, pointing different directions as the groups themselves begin to just move into the forest. Braun, who just now arrives, all right, you guys are going to be guarding this section of the forest. See anything in the fire? Kill it. Anyone get taken by the fire? Follow at your discretion. Any
Okay.
questions? All right. Good luck. You guys are left to your own devices.
How big is the section?
The what he kind of gestured towards is probably like a quarter of a mile long.
Okay.
There are, you can see, after he gestured, you can see that there are a couple of other groups who have been pulled back from the general workers and are being talked to by their quartermasters, assuming that they're pretty much in the same situation as you. A few of them begin walking into the woods. Just to reiterate, this section of the forest itself is not on fire. You guys got quite a few feet before the fire. You guys can't even see the fire through the trees as of yet.
Okay.
And the workers are pushing in.
So we're
I
just
move forward.
All right. The armored
Yeah.
individual moves into the trees.
Yep.
they're in the
I
trees.
Okay.
leave. I leave the game.
Are you
All right.
pushing off into the fog?
It's
Whichever
smoke,
direction
but
what's his
yeah.
name pointed, that is where I go.
All right. You begin to push your way into the forest. Large
Wow, it's so
trees,
foresty.
large trees around you, bend and sway with the morning breeze. You can see that the workers have begun pushing their way in and have made it about, I'd say, 200 feet into the forest before stopping at what appears to be a currently being dug trench.
Big dog.
The trench has had some pretty good work done on it. It's about 20 feet wide, and the trees around it are being felled to make sure that the fire can't jump. Beyond the trench, though, it does appear that the fire is quickly moving in your direction. The dark shadows that are cast by the burning blaze make it hard to see farther into the forest, as you can just barely begin to see the licks of flame at the edge. Are you doing anything?
Moving forward.
All right. Are you moving forward to the other side of the trench?
Yep.
All right. Dropping down in, you move your way amongst the workers. They're digging up earth and throwing it past, handing buckets to one another to clear out what they can. A few of them kind of grunt and move out of your way as you begin to move your way past them and then climb up the other side of the trench. The rest of you following?
Yep.
All right. On the far side, you see virgin forest, and just past that, flames that lick at the trees.
I draw
It's
my sword
quite-
and keep moving.
It's quite warm here, and the smoke actually has lightened. It's a little less thick right here. Moving farther in, you get closer and closer to the fire. I'd say it's probably about 80 feet away from you now as you've moved away from the trench a bit. You're beginning to be able to make out a good amount of what you're seeing, and past the trees that are right in front of you, it's as if hell is broken loose. The dark skeletons of what used to be trees rise up from the earth, making columns and pillars. You see one farther in fall into the fire, sparks blazing everywhere. you got a good view on it. Would you like to make a perception check, or would you like to just use your passive?
I would love to just use my passive, Jacob.
I think we all are gonna use our passives.
I'm pretty sure I'm not going to have to roll a single
let's
perception check all game.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
No one has passive perception under 20.
Yep.
No one has it under 21. Good lord. All right. Are you guys going to be patrolling?
Yes. And can I say that as we are patrolling, I would like to use primeval awareness to
All
see
right.
anything hinky.
I heard kinky, and I
said
afraid
hinky
now.
with an H.
Okay.
I said with an H.
Nope. DM
She
heard kinky.
did, but I
Let
feel
it-
like
No.
at
let
that
it be
point
so.
it's
I
It
said
is so.
hinky.
Nope.
Okay. Now hold on. I understand that Forge is trying to hold on to this, but at the same time, I don't know what hinky means.
Just
Weird.
sideways,
Right.
anything screwy, anything.
Nope. Stop, all of you. Hinky descends from a term referring to a mythological creature called a hinky punk.
Yep.
And the way you would know that this was a thing is because things would be off around it. So when someone says something is hinky, things are not as they should be.
Interesting. I'll have to do research on this creature. Thank you for bringing this to my attention.
You're welcome. See, now I'm making Welk jokes.
All right. Primeval awareness. What does it do, and how long does it take to cast?
Let me see. For a minute per level. Oh gosh. Spell slot. You expend. You can sense whether the following type of creature is present within 1 mile of you, or within up to 6 miles if you are in favored terrain. Abjurations, celestials, dragons, elementals, fae, fiends, or the undead. This feature does not reveal the creature's location or the amount of creatures.
But it does reveal the type?
Yes.
Okay. All right. What level are you casting it at?
Let me see. Is it casted as a spell? It should be. Did I not see it on the spell list? Am I just looking at it in the features and traits? I am just looking at it in the features and traits. It is not on the spell list.
So your favorite terrain is grasslands
mountains and
or in
grasslands.
neither.
Yep. That's what I figured. Something told me I should have picked forest, but
I did tell you natural disaster, but you know.
I was thinking Skaldra, I was thinking moors, I was thinking grasslands and more mountain stuff.
I mean, to be fair, that's a good amount of what Skaldra is.
Yeah.
It's the Highlands.
As an action, you can expend 1 ranger slot 1 minute per level of spell slot. So if I do it for 14 minutes for my full fucking level. That's weird. It doesn't say anything about slots. It doesn't give me slot numbers. But it is 1 action.
Weird, yeah. Just 1 ranger spell slot. So it could be his first level spell slot if you wanted.
Sure, let's do that.
Could be a first level spell slot, and that just would be 1 minute then.
Okay, that's fine.
Weird. Why would you cast it at higher levels?
I don't know.
What is the purpose?
I don't know.
D&D Beyond, explain! Explain!
Gygax, explain!
Explain. So you are going to begin meditating in the forest around you. How would you say Pockets connects to the world around him?
I think Pocket sort of...
in his pocket.
the
I think
world
Pockets...
is my pockets.
Yeah, absolutely. You have no idea, bud. But yeah, I think Pocket sort of sits and has the coat sort of fan out around them. And just sort of like... It's very simple in that very sense of like the Buddha sitting under the ginkgo tree.
Mm-hmm.
He just has a good sit.
He just has a good sit. And during that good sit, you begin to just be more aware of everything around you. You get pings. You know that within a mile radius of you, there are Fae and there are fiends. Let me double check the real quick. And there are elementals, but that one's a little less surprising.
Yeah. And it doesn't tell me how many, and it doesn't tell me where. They're just around. Okay.
There are those things within a mile of you. And
Okay.
I'll say,
You know me so well. You knew that I wanted to play a game of D&D based One Night Werewolf, didn't you?
no, that's what I tried to do with the original Skaldra, and you know what you did? You just sent him on his way.
You know what I did? I fucking won.
As this minute comes to a close, Pockets, you in particular, since you're now looking for this and are aware of it, I'll give you a little boost to your passive perception for it, as if you needed it. But it makes it so you notice this before anyone else.
Mhm.
As you open your eyes once more and can now look at the fire with a new understanding, you see as another branch breaks off of one of the trees and crashes into the ground, spraying sparks, and those sparks don't dissipate. Instead, they whirl around each other like a cloud of flies before moving deeper into the forest, almost as if a group of fireflies was flying through the fire.
Hmm.
I'll also say, with that boost to your passive perception, you would hear almost ethereal giggling, but it's at the edge of your perception. Are you doing anything with this knowledge?
Yeah, sorry. Everything got very quiet and I got concerned for a hot second. Yeah, no, Pockets gets up and basically goes to our big armored friend and basically will inform them. I think we're looking at Fae, which is not surprising, fiends, and elementals. Upon opening my eyes and looking to see that branch fall, it seemed a swirl of sparks, like fireflies, flew off in a group together, and I think I heard something giggle.
Flow does not matter.
As cool as that voice mudded, I did not understand you.
Yeah.
What doesn't matter?
What about now?
Yeah, I
we
can hear you.
We can understand you, more or less. Just enunciate.
Yeah, fuck you. I say with my collective self. Yeah, matter of flow doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Well, if we're supposed to kill something while we're out here, it's good to know what it is.
We will find out what we are meant to kill when we kill it.
Okay. Kind of ass backwards, but okay. I'll leave that to you then. How do you want to proceed?
We will lead the way.
Oi, Pockets, was it? You hear a familiar voice calling from behind you.
Yes?
As Bran crests the edge of the trench and begins walking towards the lot of you.
I don't trust him. I think he's the big bad guy. My voice is still on.
Yes.
Say what you said again.
I don't trust him. I think he's the bad guy.
All right. Braun walks over and says, "Totally forgot to mention. It's been a couple days. Haven't really been on top of everything. you do get paid for killing stuff. It depends on the head size, but for every pound, you get a hogshead of silver for the head.
Hmm.
Just a little incentive. How's it looking out there?
Foggy.
Inferno, but
It'd be smoke.
question for you. Is anyone
Yeah.
higher up, the lady with the hood and the antlers and all, aware at the possibility of fae, fiends, or elementals raging inside this inferno proper? Possibly causing it.
Well, I mean, we're aware that there's stuff out there.
Mm-hmm.
What it
Man,
is?
I wish I
not
was playing a
sure.
sarcastic character.
Not entirely sure what it is. We've had a couple of things get brought back.
I mean,
Most
does
of-
it look like every time that someone is lost or that you find any sort of remains, if you find any sort of remains, does it look like the same type of creature is causing these casualties every time, or does it change?
I mean, most people look like they've been burned. So, yeah. Creature being the fire. Most of the things have been brought back that we've had to pay for were Fae, I'll tell you that much.
Uh-huh.
Elementals don't tend to leave anything, so if you kill one of those, it's probably not going to give you anything as payment, but I'm sure you could negotiate.
Fiends?
Yeah, elementals are kind of like the embodiment of whatever they're made out of, so.
No, fiends. As in
Oh,
devils and
fiends.
demons and such.
Oh, not they fairy tales.
Are you sure?
Those things don't come out here.
Are you sure?
I mean, demons maybe on occasion, but we're too far away from the moor for that to actually be a thing.
You're an
No,
imbecile.
Hey, that's harsh words. That hurt my feelings a little.
Good. May your feelings be hurt and not your physical, smaller form.
More bizarre things have happened in the world than seeing that there's a fiend away from where it's supposed to be.
Boy, listen.
Fiends will go where they wish, not where they're supposed to be.
If there's a fiend out there and you kill it, I'm sure they'll actually pay even more for it because those things are. Well, I mean, the lady herself will probably enjoy having like new spell components. She's always looking for stuff like that, so she'll probably actually give you a premium.
Oh, you don't say. Well,
Don't say no.
you might think of that as a possibility then. Whether to inform others or not, but I think you should.
If you're the only one to know it's your trade secret, I'll let you deal with that as you will.
I'd rather not have men die, so you should probably fucking tell them that there might be a fucking fiend out there.
All right, yeah, sure. It's your choice. Honestly, we're all just trying not to die by the fire, so.
I've laid down, I've sniffed him a couple times.
Say that one more time for it. Your voice is on.
I have leaned down and I've sniffed him a couple times.
Okay, roll me an investigation check.
Wait, what's your passive investigation?
Oh no, he's intentionally doing this, so
No,
it's a roll.
I'm being very intentional.
No, I know.
Let's see. What do I have in investigation? Actually, 0. Excellent. That is a 10.
Rough. I mean, brandy is pretty easy to smell.
I mean, I don't care what I get. I'm not really deliberately investigating anything. I know exactly what I'm up to right now.
You're also not surprised that this man has been drinking brandy. Not only are you in Skaldra, where that practically flows like water, but he's also a supervisor.
Ha.
I said what I said.
There, Jacob. There.
First he insults my NPC, now he's sniffing me.
No, not you, Jacob. I know that you smell lovely and like roses. I'm sniffing your NPC, so I'm still insulting the same person.
Okay.
I have not. I have not been subtle about the fact that I'm doing this either.
Yeah, he's kind of like flinched a couple times as you got a bit close to his ear. Just oh, and then goes about his conversation.
Either way, whatever it is, it looks like folks are going to have to go into the blaze in order to try and flush it out or kill it.
I mean, that's your job. That's what you're being paid for. If
Ducky.
if you feel like you can make it, be my guest. But if we have to pull your bodies out as charred corpses, it's not on me. Ain't nobody else going into the fire unless they absolutely have to. It's damn dangerous.
Any other news you'd like to give us?
Well, if I have to tell you that, I should probably also say don't drink and jump into the fire, because that's actually like an actual recipe for disaster.
Uh-huh.
Um,
So that means you're going to sit out here.
yeah.
Clearly.
Yeah. Why would I come in? I'm not paid to come in. I'm paid to supervise, and he picks his teeth with one of his fingernails.
I pick him up.
Alright. Okay, this is actually a pretty big guy. You do have a 20 strength, so go ahead and roll athletics for me, which you have a plus 15 on. How are you picking him up?
Is he wearing armor?
Like a baby.
He's wearing like a leather jerkin.
Okay, I just like slip my fingers into like the armholes and like lift until
like
he's
a bag
like
of groceries.
yeah, I just lift him up till he's like eye level with me.
All right. Well,
I
what was
will
the
point
athletics
out, he
check?
cannot see my eyes, and that is a 28.
Yeah, no, easily enough. I will also take an intimidation check for this, I believe.
Oh, sure, why not? Yeah.
Go ahead and make it with advantage.
Oh, sweet. Well, first roll was an 18. Second roll's a 3, not counting the bonus, so we'll go with the 18.
All right. He is thoroughly intimidated by you enough to not try to break your grasp. But he does swear as he's doing it. Like, what the hell?
The Anchor has held a vote. We have decided not to kill you at a 70-30 percentage. You should be more responsible.
Thank you very much. Does he do this often?
No fucking clue, mate.
Hey, Jacob.
Yeah.
The collective has not been subtle, but Tobias has.
Yeah, he has so far.
I would like to search this man while he's being intimidated.
Oh, you automatically succeed on any sleight of
And his
hand you do into
pockets.
this man.
Is it the
It's
plus 15?
whiskey.
I'm
It's
looking,
whiskey.
I'm looking for liquor.
If you want to roll me a sleight of hand with advantage, just to give me like a number to go by. But you're already getting a dirty 20 no matter what, even if you roll lower.
I rolled 2 4s, but that's still a 19.
Yeah, you're getting a dirty 20 either way. There is a flask 3/4 way filled with brandy. You'll find probably like 7 gold and 2 silver.
What kind of weapons does he carry?
He's got a dagger and a mace. The dagger is more like a sax, though.
I'm gonna have to Google that right quick.
A sax is the combination of a short sword
pretty.
and axe. They're balanced to be able to split wood if you actually have to.
It's called a sax because the Saxons referred to it as a sea axe
Indeed.
and was used very much on sailing ships.
That's why I like hanging out with these two. They're just such filled with trivial knowledge.
It's
Not
pretty
not trivial knowledge, but trivia
Unknown.
knowledge.
Yeah.
Either way, it's a pretty common Skaldra blade. Got a lot of uses.
Tobias has had a sip of the not whiskey. It was
Brandy.
Brandy, thank you. Kind of like, I guess his mouth looks like a sour face a little bit.
He banana cats.
And when
Pockets reaches his hand. Pockets reaches his hand upon seeing Tobias's reaction.
Are
He
you
will take the
trying to reach
flask.
for the brandy?
Yeah, he will take the flask.
Oh, he hands it to you.
Oh yeah, that's thrown in a pocket.
Pocket. And eventually, when the collective over there sets him down, Tobias taps him on the shoulder and says, "Your knife is very dirty. Your knife very rusty. You should clean."
You should speak with more respect about those who are putting their lives down on your behalf.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Is there anything else you guys need from me?
I didn't catch what you said.
Is there
there
anything
anything
else you
else we-
guys need from me?
Blood.
I'll be going then. Bye. Feel free to not call. And he walks away.
Tobias still likes you.
He kind of gives a thumbs up as he's walking away, which quickly turns into the bird.
You will die a slow death.
Probably. That's what I keep being told. He jumps down into the trench and continues walking.
Begins to pull out sword.
The
He
vote
is
is
funny,
being
Trench.
reconsidered.
We have opted for a second trial.
At this point, he's walked a little ways away and is now out of eyesight.
I do not need eyesight to kill this man.
Ajax with the blindfold, is that you?
Well, how do we want to go about jumping in?
Tobias just kind of looks at the armored man.
He looks at me, and I look at him. He looks at me.
He's not even looking at Tobias. He's just standing there motionless.
Well, okay. If it helps, I have two options that I can do. I can move the earth, similar to like these folks making a trench, but with magic. Or I can try and move the flame for the path we need, but I wouldn't be so keen on that one.
Move earth, probably better.
Okay, big man.
Tobias is going to... Go ahead.
The anchor can throw you if you wish.
Not into the fire, please. So, would you prefer we dig a trench, or would you have me move the fire?
We have no preference.
Great, mold earth it is then. And Pockets is going to start basically etching a sort of trench their own way through the fire.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead and give me a general survival check.
Oh boy. Survival. Okay. 22.
That's not too bad. You're not terribly, unless I'm mistaken, you're not terribly familiar with fighting fires, but with the general understanding of what you've just seen with the trench being dug behind you, you're able to kind of mimic what they've been doing on a smaller scale to be able to keep the fire away from the majority of your personages. Digging the trench down a bit, it's gonna take a hot second, but
Yeah.
you guys are definitely more protected down in the trench.
Just so we can inch our way into looking more into where we're searching.
All right. As you begin making your way in, I would like everyone to make Constitution saving throws at advantage because of the trench.